Now, months of violent labor unrest in the mining sector last year, including the police killing of 34 strikers at Lonmin's Marikana mine, reduced the growth of Africa's biggest economy and triggered credit rating downgrades. Joining us from Cape Town to talk about effective solutions to the crisis is Jacques Botha, Chief Mining and Project Economist at Pan-African Research. Jean, thanks very much indeed. Jacques, thanks for your time. I just wanted to be controversial by saying I'm the devil, but really I'm playing the devil's advocate here by asking the question, who is profiting from the strife that we have seen in South Africa's mining sector?
Godfrey, well, it's the guys who are short on stocks, on platinum stocks, on the big platinum stocks are profiting, and I would say the potential winners are people who are long on the physical platinum. That hasn't really played out yet. It's actually quite amazing that I think no hedge fund or big players started buying up physical platinum. The platinum price is actually, it's amazing. The platinum price at this stage is lower than it is to cost to produce most of the platinum in South Africa. So the platinum is being produced at a loss in many mines in South Africa.
Absolutely. Let's develop that thought further. We'll talk about the other side, of course, because we know who's actually fighting. And you're telling me the ones who are profiting are the people who, if they wanted, could hold the physical metal. Why do you think the market hasn't grasped onto this? What are they pricing in?
Godfrey, that's an interesting story. The big story is, I think the overriding story is that there's been a slowdown in commodities globally, and especially the platinum industry, because of the slowdown in Europe, and they're the strongest in buyers. They were the strongest buyers in auto catalyst with their diesel vehicles. There's been negative sales last year and this year. The markets have sort of been fairly negative on the demand, the physical demand of platinum. But the reality is that jewelry demand is actually growing. And in this market, the one sector that's really doing very well globally is the luxury goods sector.
Right.
And platinum is really the most precious metal. So that's one area where there's a demand, especially in China.
Yeah.
And then on the auto sales, actually global auto sales have actually increased this year. And the slowdown still in Europe is very much neutralized by the rise in Japan. Japan is picking up. So this printing of money and the quantitative easing, making it easier for people to borrow money, the people who have incomes, actually made them buy cars.
Yeah.
So the physical demand is strong. Now, the only one area where it is where the reason for the drop in the fact that the price is weak could be the speculators and the ETFs, where people are nervous about platinum.
Yeah.
But I really believe that the market's going to realize that there's now so much attention on the cost of mining of platinum. Of all the major commodities that we research, it's really the only commodity where the marginal, the operating cost is lower than the physical cost of the commodity. So the guys are working at a negative margin, most mines.
Yeah.
Even gold at this price is not so bad.
Absolutely.
So I think the price, and this is a funny situation where South Africa also, where South Africa produces more than 80% of the platinum. So if there's stories of a reduction of platinum, it's a funny thing. We should actually win on the other side. As the supply goes down, the price should go up. So at least, and that's not working either yet. Yeah. But I really think somebody's got a cotton on there, and the physical platinum price could actually go up quite considerably. I would say even $1,800 in a very fairly short period.
Yeah.
If you look at the last quarter's cash cost of Anglo Plat's production, their cash cost, just the operating cost was $1,700 an ounce.
Yeah. So clearly there's work to be done here. But Jacques, perhaps these guys are pricing in a doomsday scenario here, and they're saying there's worse to come. And that's why they don't want to come in yet, because they think this will go even down further. But then again, you have to ask the question, you are right. Why are they not holding the physical metal? But the question I wanted to put to you is this. So we've got the unions at the coalface fighting for space. At the same time, actually, the miners are very quiet. Is it a case of they are being careful because of what happened last year? Or, as you alluded to earlier, of course, strife within the sector means that's metal off the markets, and that hopefully drives out the prices. I'm being cynical here.
Yeah, I wish we had a conspiracy like that. I think then the price really would have reacted. Godfrey, I'm not so sure about that. It's an interesting one. I think it's very much a consequence of you've alluded to that. It's the turf battle in the mining industry. As we know, we've got NUM and Kusatu at loggerheads, which is already making Kusatu a bit weaker. And then AMCO just came in their timing was very good. That's when the platinum miners were really last year, just before the Marikana violence. I know, I was actually there 2 weeks ago. Funny enough, I was actually down in a mine, a kilometre underground, working on one of these drills. And actually, it's not an easy job to do. I think it's one of the most difficult jobs in the world. But, and I know the miners were really scratching their heads, sharpening their pencils to try and pay their workers more, but they couldn't. They just didn't have the money. And this is the problem now still. There isn't money to pay the workers. Now, the reality is, now the problem is, I read now that the unions are now saying that they will, if Amplats lay off people, even the 6,000 that they planned. And I think Anglo wanted to do it in a way not to harm anybody, to make sure everybody still has a livelihood afterwards. That they're even threatening to strike there. The problem is now, what really will happen is if that's a strike, the platinum price will go up, but the share price of the South African miners may even go down, although the platinum price is higher. But South Africa will lose, and some of those mines will never open again. The other problem is where the workers really work are in the underground mines. The above ground mines are more mechanized, and even now the underground mines that they go is also starting to become mechanized. So we're losing an incredible work opportunity in our economy with these strikes, unfortunately.
I've got two questions rolled into one. So, do you think the mining bosses and mining companies have done enough, in your view, to avert some of the strife that we are seeing? And secondly, what about the government? I was reading the other day, yes, police presence is very minimal on the ground, but apart from that, leadership from within government, from the mines minister, I haven't heard a word, and yet this has been simmering on for quite a while now. And now we are seeing outbreaks of pockets of violence along that platinum belt.
Godfrey, I think after Marikana, and I hear the government is very much on a high alert on the security and safety side, and that's their job. Hopefully they can do that. It's going to be very difficult. I think even the old union, the unions that know the industry, were also fairly responsible. The problem is it's a war for. This is the worst part of capitalism, funny enough, in the labour movement. It's a fight for territory. And that can be a bloody, and could end up being a very bloody battle. And that, I think, is the big problem we have now.
Jacques, who's going to tell? Yes, you have, to a degree, but who's going to tell the unions that what they are doing is noise? That in the long term, what they are doing is actually destroy their industry and destabilize a sector that is already in a precarious position?
You know, Godfrey, I think you saw yesterday the wildcat strike in Lonmin. It was only 2 days. I think the leadership there, the workers realized that they are damaging themselves. And now that they've established I think they got the NUM office out of the mine, they've gained their territory. And I think they realize now they've got to keep quiet and just help the miners to carry on. And I think this is the same. Hopefully that's this. Well, I'm not saying hopefully, but I think this is the same that's happening now to Anglo-Plat. They're trying to make sure they've got their position. They've got and then they'll also. I think they also know they cannot. I mean, Anglo-Plat produces 40% of the platinum in the world. And so many jobs, and to kill the goose that lay the job egg just doesn't make sense. So I think I would have, if I'm a forecaster, we always have to make forecasts, and we always are wrong. Like I thought the platinum price would be 1,800 by now, so don't believe my forecast. But I think within 2 days there will be calm in all the Anglo-Plat mines as well.